Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Sinag and welcome to a rant video. So basically, I just wanted to preface you that these books that we're going to talk about in this video were supposed to be a part of two different reading vlogs, but after reading both of these books, I kind of scrapped temporarily that reading vlogs because I have a lot of thoughts and I have a intense visceral emotions towards both of these books. So I just wanted to create this this one video for my somehow ranty thoughts because these books really did disappoint me. This video will have a lot of spoilers because I will go through the very specific details as to what things or events made me dislike this book or led to me being disappointed to both of these books. So if you haven't read these two books and you wanted to read any of them, so I highly suggest, I suggest you read this because anyway, so if you wanted to read any of these books, then go read it first before you go here. But in general, I'm not actually recommending both of these, so that I don't know what that says about my feelings with regards to this book, but yes. I have a reading vlog footage for Always and Forever by Beverly Jenkins, so I'm going to play that first after this intro, and then we'll go straight to the Girls Weekend by Nascosta. So, hi! Okay, so I'm actually in the 70% mark in Always and Forever by Beverly Jenkins, and let's talk a bit about it. Okay, so I haven't I forgot to update you during the 50% mark because I was not feeling well, and I recently just finished doing my NMAT exam, so my mind isn't working still, and that's why I wanted to give you an update once I have a coherent thought about it. Okay, so let's talk about this book. Always and Forever by Beverly Jenkins is about Grace and Jackson's story. We have seen them already in Topaz, so I have mentioned it in my road trip books reading vlog, so I'll put that up here in the eye and in the description down below, so you can see how I feel about that, and I briefly mentioned these two in there. Okay, so again, this book is about Grace and Jackson, and to be perfectly honest with you, I really love the 50%. I really love everything in this book up to the 50% mark because it really showed us the characteristics and personalities of Grace and Jackson that we haven't able to see more on Topaz. So basically, this one started with Grace being jilted at the altar by his groom because his groom found a much wealthier woman than her. So Grace had a really bad experience because of that, and that's why she kind of have this thing in her that she says that she don't want to marry anyone anymore, or to be or to fall in love with attractive men because of what happened to her. So so basically our story starts when her cousin Price wrote to her asking if asking if she knows anyone who wants to be a mail order bride for, I don't know what's the proper term to call it because I'm kind of blanking right now, but Price and his troops, I think, because I think they are soldiers. Oh my gosh, I don't know, I forgot. Anyway, so yeah, so basically that's it. They wanted to have brides for their own. So her cousin Price asked her if she could organize a group consisting of willing brides for these men. So that's why we had the mail order bride situation back from what we have seen in Topaz. Basically, the first half of this book consists of us getting to know Grace and Jackson's very unique and very cute meet cute situation. Behind the scenes on Grace searching for equipments to use for the long trip, and her searching for these mail order brides, as well as the training that these mail order brides, and teaching these women how to survive by their own during this journey. That first half of the book is very exciting to me because in Topaz we only get to see based on Catherine's perspective, and it limits us to only her perception, and because during that time she's most close to Grace, we only get to see a little bit of Grace and not much of the other ladies. But this one, because Grace is the leader of this pack, of this trip, she knows a lot of the women, and in her perspective we are able to get to know more these people that were mentioned, or that constitutes the mail order bride situation. So it's really interesting because we really get to know them as people, and not just as a collective, as a mail order bride. So I appreciate that. And I also wanted to point out that I really appreciate Miss Bev including unlikable characters in their group, because it's realistic. Because in real life, in a group, especially in a setting or situation that are forced upon them, well, not forced like as enforced, but they don't have any mutual connection or mutual likes to bond, except from the fact that they are mail order brides. It really is hard for everyone to get along well. So I really appreciate that Miss Bev included characters that are so annoying, and characters that don't really conform to the group, or even though these characters are really annoying and someone kind of a villain, well, not totally the villain, but they're kind of mean to the other brides, but nonetheless, I still appreciate it. I really appreciate that she was able to incorporate real people in the situation. That's what happened in the 50% mark. So if you wanted to know more details about it, I'm suggesting you read it because it's really good, and Miss Bev can do no wrong. So now let's talk about my sudden change in feelings with this book. So after the 50% mark, actually I remember this, at the exact 52% mark of this book, I don't know what happened, but there was a shift in the attitude of both Jackson and Grace that I'm really not a fan of. I'm actually really mad. I got mad back then when I was reading that because it come out of nowhere, and really annoyed right now because I can't explain it well, because it really just come out of nowhere, and there's no transition for it. Like, if you read this book and if you read this book, please tell me in the comment down below if you know what I mean. If you have sensed the sudden shift. I don't know how to explain this, but is it the tone? It's not the tone. It's the personality. It's like, I'm so sorry. I really don't know how to explain this one. But, Jackson and Blake, throughout the entire journey in the road, they have lots of encounters, like makeout sessions in the tent, and they're okay with that, and they really like each other, and they're very passionate. And then suddenly, at the 52% mark, they have, I don't know what the fuck happened with this. Suddenly, they stopped talking to each other without anything. Like, they stopped talking to each other, and because we are both in their head, so we know what both of them are thinking. And so both of them suddenly thinks that the other person does not like them, and there's nothing there that really, there's no catalyst in there. Like, we go from 0 to 100 real quick, and I don't like that. I'm so annoyed. Here's another one. It's kind of totally out of character for the both of them as well, because for quite some time we have seen them having great communication, and then out of the blue, I'm so annoyed. Out of the blue, there's a miscommunication happening, and I hate it. Not this book. I hate the miscommunication trope. That's why it's kind of hard for me to update you back then, because aside from that conflicting feelings I had, and me being annoyed with the book, I also kind of have a brain fog. So I know that I cannot explain that well at that time, and even now that I think I am somehow, and even now I can still, I don't think I have expressed my thoughts really well, but nonetheless, yeah. So now, oh no, we're not yet done. I thought we're done. Oh my gosh. Okay. So after that, because right now I'm in the 70% mark, and anyway, I'm in the 70% mark, and the miscommunication, because this one, and another reason, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened in the second half of the book, because the first half is really perfect. It's really great. The characterizations, the personalities, we are able to get to know more Grace and Jackson, the preparation, the road trip aspect, even though it's so little, it's really great. But the second half of this, I don't know what happened. The second half, to be perfectly honest with you, the first half of the book is definitely a 5-star for me. The second half, though, right now I'm in the 70% mark, so I have read 20% on the second half. So far, to be very honest, this one seems like the second half seems like a 1-star read for me. And to be very honest with you, if this is not Miss Bev's book, I'm going to fucking DNF this book because I'm so annoyed. Or if I'm not going to DNF this book, I'm going to give this book a really low rating. Like, I know that this is a bias of me, but since Miss Bev is my favorite historical romance author, I wanted to view this book objectively, in a sense that I'm going to really assess my feelings to this, not just focusing on what I hate. Because so far, the entire second half seems something that I'm kind of hating. anyway, so, okay, and, well, this is a reading vlog. If you don't want to hear spoilers, and you can skip forward. Yeah. Anyway, so, in this one kasi, because they have this on and off relationship, and I don't fucking know why these people just talk to each other. Because anyway, so they have an on and off relationship with each other, and they finally had an asexual encounter. Because back then on the first half of this book, it's pure on make-out sessions, but this one, it's a full-on sexual encounter. And Jackson didn't use a condom, and as we all know, but in this one, we don't know if she was carrying her child, but Jackson assumed that she was, right after the deed. Because of that, Jackson is forcing her to marry him because of the baby. And here's the thing. At first, I kind of sympathize with Grace, because same, I don't want to be forced into anything that I don't want to do. Especially marrying someone whom I believe that don't love me, because that's what she thinks. She thinks that Jackson don't love her because of their on and off again relationship situation. So she's not secured emotionally. Yeah, she don't feel secured in the relationship, because Jackson, in her perspective, Jackson don't love her, and he was just doing that because it's his duty, and he feels responsible for their child, because we still don't know if she really was carrying a child. And then this Jackson I'm getting annoyed. Jackson thinks the same as Grace, because he thinks that she don't love him, and the reason why she don't like to marry him is because of personal reasons, like she don't love him. And so he was forcing himself to her, because so that their child won't be called a bastard, which is fair. Okay, but here's the thing that's getting me annoyed. Why
don't you just fucking talk with each other?
Because here's the thing. Why don't these two just fucking talk with each other like a normal human being, like an adult, and not so basically that's my thoughts so far in this one. My energy was drained reading this book, reading this second half, because of that. Anyway, I don't know. I'm still going to finish reading this, because I'm on the 70% mark, and it's Miss Bev's book, so of course I'm going to finish reading it. But right now I'm kind of disappointed, because I expected it to be good. And to be very honest with you, I kind of expecting this to be a 5-star read, because it's one of my anticipated reads because of Topaz. So I'm really annoyed. By anyway, so that's my update for now. It's very long. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to rant with you for a while. Anyway, see you on my next update with this book. And I hope that Miss Bev will change my mind. That though that's highly unlikely for me because of somehow all of, not all, most of my most hated, disliked tropes is in the second half of this book. So let's hope for the best in this book, and I'll see you on my next update. Hello, so I just woke up, and please excuse my state of appearance right now. Anyway, I just wanted to update you all that I am in the 80% mark for Always and Forever, and I really don't like it na. And here's the thing, I really find Jackson Blake really annoying in this second part because he goes back to his former place in Texas, and he doesn't even have a plan B. Like, if your what do you call this, if your presence in there, if you know that your presence in there has a 90% chance that you're going to get killed, then I'm so fucking annoyed. Yeah, so this one is really hard for me to read because I'm really annoyed with him because I don't know so anyway, so that's my update for now. And because right now I'm in the part where he was tied up and being harassed by the person that accuses him of killing his father. Yeah, so I'm really annoyed because I don't know what he thinks when he got there. He has this mindset, I think, that when he got there, he got this bahala na si Batman attitude. Like, he has a mindset that when he got there, he can go with the flow and base his actions based on what is happening at that time. But when it comes to a situation where it's a life and death situation, bitch, you gotta have at least a plan B. And not just a plan B, I think it would be great if he has more plans to follow up that, just in case, because we don't know what was supposed to happen. And in this one, he was sure that because he was being framed, and he was sure that these people that he's going against with are capable of killing him, just like what they did to his father and to other people in the community at that time. But and then oh my God, I'm so good. And then he goes back to their community. I don't know if it's a village or what, but to their community, and he just goes there. And his plan A was to search for his former deputies to have them back him up and tell the judge that he's not the first one who shot. Instead, Lane, which is his the person that is accusing him, was the first one to open their shots. So now that he came back to that town or community, and he found out that all of his former deputies were gone and were paid by Lane Trent to go somewhere else, or we actually don't know what happened to them. But after that, he don't even have a plan when I think, because when he knows that he's going against with this murderous people, he should at least have a plan on how to escape or how to save himself when it comes to the fact that they will try to kill him, because that's what they plan to do ever since then. And now that you came back, you just think that you can go in the town without people telling this lame Chen that you're here. And because now that a lot of years has gone by, he probably has more power and more connections than you, and that means that you basically don't have a chance in that town, because you don't know which lanes or which trust which one has their trust. So I'm getting frustrated because it seems like Jackson Blake feels like, to me, does not have a sense of self-preservation, and I hated it, because that's the point of this to his travel anyway, because he wanted to go back to Texas and cleared his name and his father's name, and so his name and his father's name and death. So I don't know. It's really frustrating for me to read. So I don't know if it's the planner in me, or if Jackson's Blake just really frustrating to read. But yeah. So anyway, that's my update for now, and I'm not enjoying my reading experience on the last half of this book, and I don't know how I'm going to rate it, because yeah, it's very disappointing. That's why next time I don't want to hype myself up, because anyways, so I'm going to update you later once I finish this book. So I finished Always and Forever, and yeah. So this one, I just wanted to say that I hated Jackson Blake in this one, and I'm so annoyed because of his presence, a lot of deaths happened. And though I know it's not his fault, because he's not the one who killed these people, but it's so annoying, because this could have been prevented if he listened to Grace during the first time. And Grace is actually, Grace's thoughts about this are actually really sound and logical, and Jackson didn't even try to hear it, and he only considers because Grace told him that he don't need to prove himself to anyone like that, and he can no longer get his father's life back, and so his life worth more than him being tortured and dying in the hands of this murderous men in their community. So it annoys me that same thought was reiterated to him by his guy friend, and then after that he was able to kind of use his fucking brain. And he's really annoying, because that's what Grace said from the very start, and you didn't even consider it. He's so stubborn to the point that he's kind of stupid na. And in the first place, this wouldn't happen if he didn't force Grace to marry him. And now that Grace followed him in Texas, he's so annoying. Oh my gosh, I never knew I'm going to hate a Beverly Jenkins book this much. But okay, basically, I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, I hated him. The first half of this book can't even neutralize my hate for the second half of this book because of him. And he's, I don't know, man, it's so annoying. And oh my god, how am I going to rate this? Definitely it will not be 4 or 5 stars, and 3 stars is too much for me, so I think I'll give this 2 stars or 1. I don't know, but in the time being, I'm thinking between 1 or 2, so I don't know what's my final rating for this book. But yes, so he's really annoying and stupid, and a lot of people was hurt because of him. But here's the thing, I know it's not his fault, but he's not the one who hurt these people. But the least he could do was be prepared, have a plan, and he doesn't have a fucking plan. And that's what annoys me, because he just goes there and think he can wing it out and he can do anything out of the blue, and that's just not true. And in the end, the reason why I'm much more annoyed because in the end, he's not even the one who put this people down, the murderous people who killed his father and framed him. He's not even the one who put them down. And if you ask me, where is he during that situation where where Lane Trent goes to the place where Grace and William and Deer was staying. Where is he? And so I'm so fucking annoyed because he's not even there. He caused all of these people's life and safety, and he didn't even save the day, so to speak. So I'm so annoyed. I'm so fucking okay. Okay, I don't know. I'm so fucking annoyed with him, and I really hated it. Oh my gosh, I really didn't expect to be hating this book so much. I started this one in with an expectation that I'm going to love this, and maybe this is going to be another one of my favorite Beverly Jenkins books, and I'm highly disappointed. This book is a waste of Grace for me, because Grace is such a lovely character, and she really has a personality that is very admirable. And I hated the fact that she ended up with Jackson. So let's now talk about Girls Weekend by CM Nascosta. So this one, I actually planned to read this during a weekend, and to do a dedicated reading vlog for this one, because it seems like, based from the cover and the premise, it seems fun to read. And what I planned to do was to read this book during a weekend, while also showing to you what my usual weekend looks like, so that it feels like you're experiencing the book, and at the same time kind of a bit or a portion of my life. So yeah, so that's the initial idea. But then after reading the book, I kind of scrapped the video idea immediately, because I think it's in the 20% mark that I kind of didn't feel like doing it already. And aside from that, I was not feeling well. I was actually not feeling well at that time, so I decided to just stop doing it and just read it for fun, because I can do another reading vlog anytime naman someday, but at that time I need to take care of myself and just do something for fun. So I didn't vlog any parts of it, unlike Always and Forever. But in this one, I actually have finished reading this a couple of days already. But as you can see, after a couple of days, I'm still have an intense reaction, or an intense lingering feelings towards it. That's why I decided to create this one video so that I can talk both of the books in here. So basically, Girls Weekend by CM Nascosta involves three main characters. They are three elves, so it's L'Uriel, Reese, and Silva, and their weekend vacation together in a nudist community where orcs likes to get nude and to just have fun. And the premise of this book actually is really great, and it's very interesting. That's why, here's the thing. CM Nascosta's premises are very interesting. Like the Morning Glory Milking Farm and this one, The Girls Weekend, they're both very interesting. It's just that the execution usually don't live up to what the premise stated. So in this one, just like the Morning Glory Milking Farm, this one, the execution feels off for me. And okay, so let's dissect it. So in this one, I feel like CM Nascosta wanted to write everything all at once, and it turns out to be a very confusing narrative. So it confuses me a lot. So this happened also in the Morning Glory Milking Farm, because in that book naman, she tries to present both the past and the present events and monologues of our main characters at the same time. While in this one, she because we have three main characters, she shows us the simultaneous happenings in the lives of those three during that weekend. So basically, so here's the thing kasi, all of these three elves, of course, they are unique they are unique, and they have they are a character of their own, and that's why all of them doesn't have a same character arc. And because of that, usually they're going to have a different experience or different thoughts during that time. So in this one, L'Uriel's POV are mostly fun all throughout the book. Then Silva's POV during the first half of the book is very fun, while in the second half of the book is very depressing to read. So, and Reese's POV is kind of depressing all throughout. So imagine those three characters with those arcs, or with those tone of POVs in the books, and all of them having their own story being simultaneously written together. It's kind of a very confusing to read, especially when it comes to the tone and the emotion that the reader was feeling during that time, because we're kind of jumping from point of view to point of view. So at first we're going to laugh at L'Uriel's POV, and then we're going to get depressed at Reese's POV, and then we're going to be confused at Silva's POV, and then we're going back to Reese's POV where it's very depressing AF, and then we're going to go back to Silva, and then to L'Uriel, and it's very confusing and very disjointed the narrative. I think this is just, I don't know if it is just CM Nascosta's writing style, or if it is specific to this story, but I think it's kind of her writing style, because I also have this feeling in Morning Glory Milking Farm, and it's really kind of disappointing to say. And yeah, so basically right now I'm looking forward to reading another book from her, because so far I have read only 2 books from her, and I think I can't have a generalization based from those 2 books, so I need at least 3 to really see whether it is her writing style or it's because of what she was trying to do in this book. So I'm looking forward to reading more books from her and see what is my final conclusion on her. So I forgot. So another thing pala is since we have 3 main characters in this book, not all of them have equal presence in the book, because the book usually for me, the book focuses a lot on Silva, and then on L'Oreal, and then on Reese. Get a lot more from Silva, and then I think an average connection with L'Oreal, and then we barely see Reese in here. So I think si Nascostas should have done 1 book for each elves, because in this one she kind of crammed everything in a book, and it's actually not very long, and I think it will get really much more disappointing if it was longer. But yeah, so she tried to tell all of these stories in a book, and all of these characters POV in just a book, and I think it did not deliver really well, and I wished all these characters was given their own books, because they have actually a lot of depth. It's just that because the author tried to do everything at once, their characterization was not fully showed, and they are not fully fleshed out to the reader, and that's my problem with this one, because this one has a great premise, but the execution really did it no good. So that's my thoughts for both of these books, and it's kind of disappointing because these books I'm kind of really looking forward to reading them, and it's just I can't believe I am making a kind of a rant video early on, but yeah, so it's really disappointing, and I just wanted to talk to anyone right here, because I think especially Girls Weekend by C. Nascosta, I haven't encountered any reviews showing their confusion or showing the same sentiments as I have. So yeah, if you share the same sentiments with me for both of these books, please comment it down below, and let's talk about it, because I'm kind of heated because of these 2. But I'm not saying that these 2 are the worst books of the year. It's just that they disappointed me, because I expected a lot based from the premise and from what I have read from the authors, because these authors, Beverly, Jenkins, and C.M. Nascosta, I have read from them before, and I like the idea, the concept of these books. It's just that the execution was so, yeah. So basically, if you have something to say about these books, whether you share the same sentiments as I, or if you completely disagree with me, please comment it down below, and let's talk about it. And I think that's all for me for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and if you like to see more from me. And let's see each other in my next video to come. I post every Monday and Thursday, and yeah, I think that's all. So that's all for me for today, and have a nice day. Bye bye.